Welcome to the real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. The real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. And now your hosts, Bill and Lee Howard.
Hello. Yeah, that's a good one. I put a little extra oomph into that one.
Santa.
Welcome to the Real Ramblers. I am Bill. This is my brother Lee.
What up? Hi. Let's try something new.
Yeah. Today we are discussing one of our favorite subjects, which
Movies.
is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, that was the thing. I thought you were just doing like parade music or like school band or something. I did not.
Louie Lua. Every school band plays that.
I feel like I should be throwing a baton or hula hoop or something.
Classic.
Okay, so the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We will do another day on like superhero movies in general, or maybe a DC day, of course. But yeah, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Lee and I both, I think, are of the opinion that we're just superhero fans first.
Oh, sure.
And then we kind of splinter a little. He's a little more DC. I'm a little more Marvel, I think.
Right.
Would that be fair?
Yeah.
And I think we kind of grew up that way, even though when I grew up, I was a big Marvel guy. I had a lot of Marvel. I had a lot of DC figures too, but more Marvel. And yet I always kind of held Superman in that special, he had the throne at the top.
Tier, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like, I guess, Batman for you would be that one.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, but today we're just talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and everything that's come into that since the introduction of Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. So we've ranked our movies. This should be interesting.
Yeah. Can I ask, did you put Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk in here? I don't think I did.
I think I did just because it was on the list, but I mean, we can skip it.
I don't think I did. It was in the list, but I can't remember if I.
Yeah, I know, because it wasn't officially.
No, not really.
Because it was before Iron Man, right?
Can you imagine? It was after Iron Man.
Oh, it was after Iron Man.
Tony Stark showed up at the end of The Incredible Hulk.
Right. Okay.
And but that was it. I sometimes think about like what it would have been like if Norton carried on instead of Mark Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I loved Ed Norton in it.
And it's like I did, but it's like maybe I'm just more used to Mark Ruffalo. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
if only Bill Bixby was still around.
Yeah.
I still think he was perfect.
He was pretty great.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so let's kick it off at the beginning. What did you have as your number one Marvel movie of all time? Oh, by the way, just a little sub note here. We're leaving out TV series. We're leaving out things like I left out Spider-Man's.
Oh, did you?
I think so.
Mine are in there. I put them in there.
I wasn't. I left out Sony stuff.
I mean, Sony stuff. No, sorry. The Garfield. My brain.
We're not talking about Garfield. I know he loves lasagna, and so do you.
The Odie movie is my favorite. The John Arbuckle spinoff. Bullshit. Who fucking cares about John Arbuckle?
Yeah, I left out the Sony stuff.
Yeah, so the Sony stuff. Yeah, no, it's not in there.
So the Spider-Mans aren't in there?
Just the Tom Hollands.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they were Sony's, weren't they?
No, they were like...
Oh, they were like joint efforts. Yeah. Okay, I didn't include them.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, we'll just start with that. Okay, number one, Marvel movie, all time. Lee, go.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Interesting. So I kind of cheated.
Okay.
Because I can't separate Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay.
For me. But that's my number one, Infinity War Endgame.
Okay.
If I had to pick, I'd probably say Endgame, but I can't.
Right.
It's so distinctly one story.
Oh, yeah. It is hard to separate.
So that's my number one.
Okay.
Just because I can't recall any movie that's made me like so involved in the movie theater, sitting in that seat.
Sure. Yeah.
Like at the end of Infinity War with everybody disappearing, I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, what movie does this? What movie kills everybody? Like, it was crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
And then kicking off Endgame with like, let's behead the villain. I was just like, what is going on? Like, those movies, and the Russos do not get enough credit for, imagine trying to write those two movies. With 7 billion characters and making it cohesive. And they did. And I don't think film people,
Mhm.
give them the credit they
Right.
deserve. Because holy crap,
Oh yeah, like what
Those
a huge
two
undertaking,
movies
you know?
are a monumental achievement in film. Not
Yeah.
superhero stuff aside, it's a monumental film achievement.
Yeah, yeah.
Because none of it was confusing. I watched like Tenet with Christopher Nolan.
I still haven't seen that.
And I had to watch it 3 times before I understood
Really?
what was going on.
Wow,
It's great.
okay.
I love it now.
Yeah.
But when I saw it in the movie theater, I was like, what's happening?
Right.
Whereas those two movies, which had so many storylines and so many characters,
Yeah.
and not for 1 minute did I not know what was going on.
Right.
So brilliant. That's my number one.
Cool. I love Winter Soldier. Like story wise.
It's brilliant.
It's amazing, and it's like very serious, and it's good story arc stuff for like Cap. You know, he's Captain America,
Yeah.
but in that one he's like, whoa, maybe our government is not good.
Yeah.
You know, it just like the Winter Soldiers, like Bucky's great. Just everything works for me in it like so perfectly. So, and again, I'm sure this list could change tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
I was reading one of those little things you've never noticed in Marvel movies, one of those articles. And the Captain America thing that interested me was that in the earlier movies, he's got the star on the chest and the American flag on the arm.
Right.
And then in Winter Soldier, he didn't have the American flag. And then in the last movie, he didn't have the star.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so cool.
Oh,
I love the details they put in like that.
Totally,
So,
yeah. And
Winter Soldier, for the record, is number 3.
Oh, nice. Okay. I love Cap is my favorite
Me too.
Marvel character.
Me too.
All of them great.
Same, hands down. Just ask my wife. We have Iron Man versus Captain America arguments all the time.
I
She's
like
seen
Tony
Iron Man.
Stark, but
I love him.
Yeah. But
That's
I mean, he created most of the problems that they had to,
Yeah, I know,
they
right?
had to
I know, and
to
the funny
fight.
thing is, Joanne, my wife, has seen all the Marvel movies with me, but she hasn't seen Age of Ultron.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, what a coincidence that you haven't seen the one movie where it shows that
Yeah.
Iron Man is the one who screwed everything up.
Yep.
But anyway,
what's your number 2?
Captain America: First Avenger.
Oh, nice. That one's
For me, a perfect movie.
it's great.
The pacing is great. His development is great.
Yep.
The war scenes are unbelievable.
It's funny. I think a lot of people put that one like lower for some reason, and
I know, and I don't get
love
why.
it. Yeah.
And that one was Joe Johnston, who's a great director and did huge movies in the past, and it was awesome that I just thought it was so well thought out, and it felt, I don't know, it felt like it had elements of like Indiana Jones and old war movies.
Yeah. It was
just
like an
had so
adventure.
much, it was a
great.
real adventure movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I liked it, because it had that
Totally.
real
It
sense
was
of
great.
yeah, and
the two
Carter.
in it.
And
Oh
Carter.
yeah.
Agent Carter.
She's amazing. Haley Atwell's. Her show was great.
The
I love
Agent
her.
Carter series was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's okay. So what's next on yours?
For my number 2, it's Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay.
I loved No Way Home. Not only because obviously the other Spider-Mans were brought into it. I'm a big, and for me, Andrew Garfield's super underrated.
Me too.
Love Andrew Garfield, both as an actor, as a human.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but I feel like I do.
Same. I'm with you on all of that.
And I like legitimately. There's not too many superhero movies that like make me very emotional or cry. I flat out cried when he saved MJ.
Absolutely.
Holy shit! I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Because in his movie, when it happened,
didn't save her. She
that
died.
was heart wrenching.
Holy shit! Yeah,
how he played
like
in that
one as well. Amazing Spider-Man 2. People shit on that movie. I really like it.
Me
it's
too.
really fun. Really fun.
Me too.
I think they could have did a better Green Goblin, but anyway, that's a whole other thing.
I agree.
We'll do the Sony movies on another episode.
Sure.
But I loved everybody's story. The humor was like really great in it.
Me too.
Everybody was great in
agree.
it. I the action was incredible. I loved it. I loved it. And I love how it ended. I also just really like Tom Holland. He's
Me too.
amazing.
I love the guy.
That dude's
And he
gonna have
just
the greatest
seems like
career.
such a genuine, down to earth dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I love him.
I love where
He's so good. I think he's probably tied with Garfield for me.
Yeah, me too.
And it's funny because how many Spider-Man fans are always like, "Oh, he's Toby forever."
Nostalgia. And I like
And
Toby,
I'm like,
but
Toby's
nostalgia.
great. But even when they came out,
Yeah.
I wasn't 100%
Yeah,
on Toby.
it's like, wait a minute. Also, you're 34 for sure. You're a hard 34 playing an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
But what I liked with No Way Home is where it ended, because now that everybody's forgot who he is and he's not like funded by Tony Stark,
Yeah.
he's like the Spider-Man we always knew.
Yeah.
He's making his own suit.
Yeah.
He's out there doing like street level stuff. And it's like, that's kind of one of the complaints I had about the other ones is that his suit from the jump was like Stark tech and stuff. And it's like, I like him becoming Spider-Man.
Although I love that scene. I don't know which one it was in where he was playing with the Stark stuff and who's Jon Favreau's character?
Happy.
And Happy was watching him play with the stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It reminded him of Tony.
Yeah, that was in the second one.
That was a really touching scene.
And I like that. I love, So you're number 3.
And 1, 2 was Winter Soldier.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Iron Man 1.
Okay, we'll stop saying, we'll just go what's next, because I think we're going to get confused about 3 and because I didn't pick the Spider-Mans and stuff.
Oh, fair.
So we'll just say next for you was...
Okay.
So Winter Soldier was mine, and then next?
So my number 3. Just kidding. Iron Man 1.
Yeah, me too.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Like, it's also perfect. Perfect casting.
Oh, yeah. Thrilling.
Yeah.
Unbelievable action scenes.
Yeah. It's the I just remembered that. Remember that video I sent you with that kid crying, and it sounded exactly like him.
Yes,
that shit was so funny. It made me cry.
Do yourself a favor, folks. Look up little kid that sounds like Iron Man when he screams and drops his ice cream. It's really funny. So funny.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's pretty much like it's like a top tier superhero movie.
Yeah, like, and when you saw it for the first time when it first came out, to see Iron Man in action, flying, fighting, was like,
oh, so great.
It was like seeing Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
It was like finally seeing a character you've always known really come to life.
Yeah. And crazy that, I mean, in the comics and stuff, I feel like Iron Man was never anybody's favorite anything.
Yeah.
You know, and now all of a sudden now Iron Man is like a top tier superhero because of that movie. So good.
So yeah, mine was Iron Man 2. Or as
Iron Man as well. Yep.
Okay, so next.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Same here.
Nice.
Weird.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That, to me, also is pretty much a perfect movie.
Same. Oh, yeah.
Everything about it, excuse me, the cast is incredible. The whole cast, is incredible.
Colors in the movie.
Just the look of the movie. I love James Gunn.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people hating on him for just stupid reasons right now.
His, cotton candy visuals in the Guardians movies are so beautiful.
He balances, like when it's funny, it's so funny.
Yeah.
And when it's, emotional, it's super emotional.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
Obviously, the music is incredible. Everything about it. I'd never even heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy comic before. So I love that he is great at taking characters you never really heard of or thought about and making them, like in the Suicide Squad, the Polka Dot Man, the dumbest character, but it's like he had a good little arc.
Yeah,
and you were very sad when he died.
Yep.
Yeah.
So everything about Guardians, giving the finger and the attitude of Star-Lord.
Oh, man.
When that first scene where he's like, come on, man, Star-Lord. It was just, he instantly endeared himself to you.
The whole ending, when they're all grabbing hands and stuff, cried.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally cried.
Brilliant. Next.
For me,
this is where it's going to start getting interesting.
Yep. Captain America, the First Avengers is next for me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, very high on my
list. My
next
one was Shang-Chi.
Oh, nice. I need to rewatch that. I've only seen it once or twice, and I need to rewatch it.
When I went to the theater, this was right after the original bunch of movies had been done, and we were told we were going into a new era of Marvel movies. And that was, I think, the first big one that came out.
I think so.
And I went to see it, and I was just like, if this is the next phase, I'm in.
Right.
Because I was like, the action, over the top, huge action set pieces, the actors...
Oh, great cast.
Simu and Awkwafina were both phenomenal.
Yep.
It had some of the laughs of Guardians, but still a great villain that was powerful.
Yeah.
And then bringing in the mysticism of having dragons and bullheaded mystical guys. I loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
That's awesome.
I thought it worked on every level as a Marvel movie, and it brought so many new things into the universe.
Yeah.
I loved it.
For sure. I think that's lower on mine, but again, it's because I need to see it again.
Yeah, revisit it. I'd like to hear what you have to say after you see it again.
My next one is Infinity War.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was at the top of mine.
Yeah. So
my next one after that is Ragnarok.
Me too.
Nice. Wow. I didn't expect to have so many the same.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's easily the best Thor movie.
Super fun.
Yeah. Really fun.
By far the best Thor movie.
Best action, best everything.
Yeah.
For it.
Amazing humor.
It's the perfect balance of the kind of silly humor, but with still good action and stuff.
Yeah, it kind of got everything right that the Thor after it didn't. But yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
Guardians 2. Part 2.
Guardians Part 2 is way down on my list. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, things can change over time.
Yeah.
It was definitely not as good as the first one.
No. I love lots of stuff in Part 2, but for me, the whole movie was brought down a bunch of notches from the Kurt Russell storyline. I just found it not interesting at all.
Right. Yeah.
Not even remotely.
Yeah, and I get that. I think I just like the Guardians themselves so much that's what.
And it had that was the one that had the scene with Rocket in the trees fighting all the soldiers, right? It was in the forest on the other planet.
I think so.
Anyway, it was a wicked scene because it was like Rocket by himself taking out all kinds of...
Right. Yeah.
And it had the cool scene with Rooker and his arrow.
Oh, yeah. Right?
And
then he died in that one. That shit was actually sad. Really sad, too.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins, yo.
Cool. My next one was the first Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
That one's actually a little lower on my list.
Well, that one's a funny one because when I saw it in the theater, I came out of it being like, meh.
Yeah.
It was all right. And I was like, I don't know if it's my favorite, whatever. Yeah. I was very mediocre. And then I watched it over again when it hit Blu-ray. And for some reason, everything clicked at home. And I loved it.
Nice.
Mainly, I think, due to Benedict's performance. I love the character.
I feel like for me, like him more when... Because I know he's supposed to be kind of unlikable at first in that. But I like him more. I seem to enjoy him more in kind of the Avengers ensemble stuff. For whatever reason, it works a little bit better for me.
I do like him. I like his character better in those settings. I agree with you.
So, that one's a little bit lower for me, but yeah.
All right, next.
Next for me is Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites. He was a great villain. The action sequences,
great twists.
Yeah, great twists were amazing.
When you find out what's going on, you're just like, what the? Yeah. I had no idea.
Totally. And then the humor was really great in it.
Yeah.
Night monkey.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it.
I agree. Me too.
So yeah. Now you.
Guardians 3.
Nice.
Mine's
pretty close. Yeah.
What's to say? It was epic. It was crazy action, hilarious, and really, really emotional.
Yeah, kind of a bummer, but in a good way.
Yeah,
it was hard to watch that shit.
It was. Yeah, it was. But James Gunn made sure that the misery was worth it.
Yep. Yeah. It was the perfect way to end his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Next,
Black Panther.
I thought you were going to say. Yeah. Okay. Black Panther's actually way, way down on my list.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love the first Black Panther.
Okay.
Just visually, it's incredible. It's like a side of Marvel that we visually again that we hadn't really seen yet. Like a new kind of environment and world that we hadn't seen.
That was
yet.
kind of the same reasons I liked Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Because it was all new stuff.
I like the cast so much.
Yep.
I love Killmonger as a villain. He's one of my favorite villains because it was very but is he wrong?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was very morally shit. I don't know whose side I'm actually on in this. And just he's such a good actor. Martin Freeman's great in it. And
Chadwick was iconic.
So
great character.
Yeah. Okoye, the whole cast is amazing. The music was amazing. The end got a little CG-ish and kind of goofy.
Yeah.
And stuff, but I just M'Baku is so great.
Yeah. It's not low on my list because it was bad.
Yeah. You just
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours?
My next one was Black Widow.
Nice.
Black Widow, I think, gets way too much shit
Me too.
online.
I think it's a little bit lower on mine, but not for bad reasons. It's really fun.
So fun, and so many people complained about, well, it just felt useless watching it because you know where she ends up, and it's because nobody's ever enjoyed a prequel.
Yeah. I mean, I get, I do wish they would have made it way sooner.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know that I'm that's where she got her vest. But the cast is amazing.
Yeah.
David Harbour's incredible.
Yeah.
I love Florence Pugh.
Yeah. Rachel Weisz, they were all
great. My God. Yeah. It was just a really solid, good action movie.
Action scenes were amazing. Yeah. Good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
It got unfairly shit on, but again, I think it was a little woke because ladies are in it.
They keep putting ladies in movies.
Yeah. The next one for me is Guardians 3.
Mm-hmm.
For
Previously
reasons we talked-
discussed.
Yep.
My next one was Civil War.
Nice.
Again, we've discussed this before that it's lower on your list of caps because it feels more like an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But I don't really see that as like a negative.
Right. Yeah.
But pretty epic stuff. Like seeing the airport fight in the theater was pretty huge. And the introduction of Spider-Man, of Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
And Black Panther, actually.
And Black Panther.
Yeah.
Was huge.
Yeah. I remember when
Black Panther's introduction was Winter Soldier.
No. I know. I think it was Civil War.
Was Winter Soldier after Civil War? No, it was in Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Black Widow fights him in that hallway.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, they have the chase down the highway.
You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's because there's 700 Marvel movies.
Yes.
And they all kind of mesh together.
Yes, that's why.
You're correct. Yeah, sorry. Spider-Man, yeah.
But yeah, Civil War, crazy stuff. And then the fight between Iron Man and Cap.
Oh, yeah.
Was epic.
Yeah.
And sad. Like, it was sad watching these two guys you love fight.
Totally. It made me like dislike Tony a little bit more.
Yeah.
Honestly.
What you were saying about like the bad guy in Black Panther, and like maybe he's right.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the whole thing with the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
And being like, no, he's got some points, but I don't know if I liked that ambiguity of like, who's right on that? And I was with Cap the whole time. I didn't.
Yeah, me too. Also, it's kind of like not bummer, but that they like set that thing up and then they just like never talked about the Sokovia Accords again. Just like it was such like a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're just like, just don't even talk about it. It doesn't matter.
True. That's true. Next
is Endgame.
Okay. Which was at the top of mine.
Yep.
With the other one.
I had Infinity War above this because
I'm surprised that why is Endgame so low on your list?
I like it. I mean, I obviously really like it, but it's like, I think the other ones are higher because I like the stories of the other ones, and this movie is essentially just like a 2-hour action scene, which is not a bad thing. It was like
the story they had, like the time traveling stuff was so cool.
and it was cool, but I just think the other ones, I don't know.
We're shutting down the podcast.
We have to burn this house down with fire.
Sorry, Jay.
I didn't dislike it. I still
That's just surprising. I just didn't expect that.
I still thought it was like really fun and stuff like that, and I liked everything about it. It was great. I just I think I had other ones that I was maybe more emotionally attached to.
Well, let's just move on then, because I can't talk to you about that anymore.
That sounds great.
My next one is the first Avengers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the first time we got a really big superhero team-up movie.
Yeah, which was huge. And I mean, the gigantic battle, which looking back, was it a little too big? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But it was still super fun.
And Cap's suit was just pajamas.
Yeah, I really didn't like
fucking wearing pajamas.
His first Avenger suit will always be the most badass suit to me.
I love the
brown belts.
Oh yeah, I like that one a lot. I really like his Winter Soldier suit, like the stealth suit.
Yeah.
And his like the one he wore in like Civil War and stuff, because that's the suit I bought for myself.
Yeah.
Which I love that suit. This suit was fucking terrible.
Yeah. It was. Although not as bad as the Endgame white suits.
Yeah. Because those are all CGI too. It's like just wear actual suits.
I know.
I do love.
So first Avengers, is that what we were talking about?
The first. Yeah. Just a fun. This is like a popcorn movie. You know what I mean?
And it was a big first. So,
absolutely.
It's there on my list because of action.
Yeah.
So next, we're not even halfway through, and we're almost done. We might have to.
It's going to be a two-parter. Yeah. Civil War is next on mine.
Okay.
For reasons we talked about. Yeah.
All right. My next one's Captain Marvel.
Nice. I
was really surprised by that one.
The more I watch it, the more I like it.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It also got unfairly shit on for obviously a lot of fucking piss.
Because there's ladies in it again.
Seriously, yeah.
Stupid internet.
But also I love Brie Larson.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And it's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
I also wish
the action was great and it's
sooner.
cool. Yeah, me too.
You know?
The action was cool, and I love that she's kind of like Marvel's Superman.
Yeah. It was just a fun.
Her stuff, by the way, in Endgame.
Oh, great!
Although brief, was amazing.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think it was great, and I wish it would have came out before.
Yeah.
Before. Next for me was the first.
Well, maybe if you invent time travel, you can go back and release things when you feel like releasing.
I don't know how to do any of that. I think there's math involved. Avengers 1 is my next one.
Okay, mine's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right, cool. Yep, I like that one.
Super great action. I loved bumping up Evangeline Lilly's role. And super fun, and
Yeah,
Michael Pena, and
yeah. They were missed.
And Paul Rudd, you can just never go wrong.
Yeah, totally.
He's always awesome.
I think I like that out of the Ant-Man movies. I think that one's probably my favorite.
It's my favorite of the Ant-Mans for sure.
My next is Captain Marvel.
Cool.
For reasons we just talked about.
My next is Ultron.
Okay.
Again, a lot because it set up things that rolled out later.
Right.
And again, just massive action scenes. The same reason you like any of it.
I was just so on Ultron for whatever reason. I just didn't really connect with it.
Yeah.
Ultron was like, cool enough, like James Spader.
Yeah.
Gotta love Robert California.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't love the Natasha and Bruce love story. It felt really like forced and weird to me.
That's true. It's funny now that we're going through the list. I'm almost thinking of moving it down a bit.
Yeah, it felt like that. That really felt like off to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some stuff. I don't know if like I'm soured a bit on Whedon now, just because so much bad shit.
Yeah.
And it's like some of his stuff. Like it's funny, you watch Buffy. And it's still great, but there's a lot of stuff that's very dated, and a lot of ideas and stuff that are very dated, and stuff like that. I can't remember if it's this Avengers or the one before.
But a lot of the time that happens as you move through time.
I know, but still, some ideas should never be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like I was just like okay with that one. I don't know.
Fine,
Again, move on. Yeah. So moving on. Spider-Man: Homecoming was my next one.
Okay.
I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
So like
really good action stuff.
Keaton's cool, but it's some of the story stuff on that was I had better thoughts on that one before, like becoming like a supervillain. Like again, Tony Stark is kind of like fucking over all these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he put all these people out of work. Like he didn't create the problem, and then put all these people out of work.
He was definitely a contributor to the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like a lot of it was. So like I kind of like I get Michael Keaton being like, you know what? Then I'm just going to use this tech and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But so it was like fine, but it just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Of them, yeah.
My next was The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, the Norton one?
Yep.
Okay, I think I forgot to put that one on my list.
Yeah.
I still like it, and it's fun, but...
has some really cool Hulk stuff.
Yep.
The whole thing in the, I forget where it is, in South America, the houses.
Oh, yeah.
The big chase scene, I think that was the first scene.
Yep.
That was amazing. The college campus scene with the soldiers was awesome.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly.
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah. Jennifer Connelly was in the Ang Lee one.
The Eric Bana one, which I really didn't care for.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of things to like in it. And Ed Norton was great. And Hulk looked great in it. And it was solid.
Shang-Chi is on my list now, but again, I got to revisit it because some of them I put lower just because I haven't maybe watched them enough, right? So I'm just like,
like I said, as we're going through this, I'm already rethinking a lot of that.
Yeah.
Next for me was Guardians 2, which we already discussed.
Yep, and Black Widow is my next, but I think maybe I would actually put that one a bit higher. Yeah. Now that we're kind of re-talking.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'm an Ant-Man.
Me too.
Nice.
Which first one's still fun.
Yeah, and it had so many, again, it was one of those movies where it did so many things that we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
Like all the shrinking and fighting stuff was really cool and new.
I often, because you know how Edgar Wright was supposed to do Ant-Man, and it was, they, were like, your way isn't really the Marvel way.
Yeah.
I'm so curious what that movie would have looked like.
Yeah, it probably would have been great.
He was working on that for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I think he would have been perfectly suited to it.
Totally, yeah. It's essentially like an Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the one thing with like a lot of Marvel movies where it's just like the bad guy is just angry businessman.
Yeah.
All the time, angry businessman.
Yeah.
But it was still fun.
Yeah.
The shrinky dink stuff was neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, we might be able to just make this into an extended episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just extend this one a little.
Oh shit. Okay.
We can break the rules.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling us
this is our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, you can pause it and come back later.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Stinky dink.
Next on my list is Iron Man 2.
Same.
Lots of stuff to like in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
But also lots of stuff. Iron Man 2 is Guy Pearce as the bad guy, right?
That's 3.
So 2 was...
Other angry businessman. What's his name? Sam Rockwell.
Right.
I'm doing this with my fingers because he dances a lot.
Sam Rockwell.
And Mickey Rourke.
Who I didn't really care for in it.
Yeah.
But Mickey Rourke, I liked his character. It was cool. And I wish he had more to do in it.
He supposedly had way more to do.
Really?
If you listen to interviews, Mickey Rourke hates Marvel.
Oh, yeah?
Because
Mickey Rourke hates a lot of people.
Mickey Rourke does hate a lot of... Yeah.
I love Mickey Rourke, but he hates a lot.
He's got some things to work out, I think, in his therapy.
Yeah.
But he hates Marvel because they originally, like, his role was, not that it was much, but there was just so much more to it. Like, he put a lot of work into it, I guess, and then they just kept, like, stripping things away from him.
See,
and, like,
for me,
dumbing
Iron
shit
Man
down.
2 is very much like Batman Returns. It's because, for me, Sam Rockwell is like the Penguin.
Right.
It's like they should have just shed that and just left it to be about.
Right.
And I think they would have benefited greatly. If it was just about Whiplash versus him, I think it would have been really cool.
Yeah. I think it gets shit on a little too much.
Me too.
But like, it's still fun. It's not
some
terrible.
really good action in it.
Yeah.
What's your next?
Iron Man 3.
Interesting. My next one's Eternals.
Okay.
Lot of hate for Eternals out there.
Yeah.
But I really found it. Joanne and I saw it in the theater, and we both thought that it didn't feel Marvel-ish. It felt like its own thing.
Yeah.
It almost felt like a Lawrence of Arabia or something. Like, it felt like an epic adventure story that's its own thing.
Yeah. It didn't feel connected.
I get Marvel people not feeling like it belonged in there.
Yep.
But as its own mythology and the actors and the characters that were in it, I really dug where it went and the world that it existed in.
I like the cast. It looked really cool. Like, the people's powers were cool. Yeah, it is. I understand a little bit of the hate too, because it is, and not that it's disconnected, but just, I don't know. It's a weird, like, they've been around forever, and there's been superheroes forever, but we can't really get involved in other stuff because of these reasons or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, it seems really tacked on. And then at the end, because they were talking about those what big gods, whatever they were, and then they show at the end of the movie, like, oh, P.S. at the top of planet Earth is a giant head and a giant hand coming out of the Earth that no one's ever talked about. Like, what the shit?
No, that's true.
Like, that's really kind of goofy. And then,
but that aside,
yeah. And it also had the one, because I think at the end of that one, wasn't it like Harry Styles and that really badly CGI gnome, like, was like, hello, I'm Blorko, or whatever.
That's right. I must have blocked that part out of my mind.
There was the first time ever where I was like, what is up with these, like, Roger Rabbit level animations? Like, and obviously a lot of stories have come out that Marvel's really pushing their effects people and giving them, like, micro time budgets, which is apparent and really sucks. And I feel bad for them.
But aside from that stuff at the end, I loved the scope.
Yeah, it was.
And I loved the characters.
I like the cast and stuff like that. I've only seen it, I think, maybe once, so I'd have to rewatch it again. Yeah. Really interesting that
I enjoyed it significantly.
That they mentioned like Superman and Batman in it.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So Iron Man 3.
Same. That's my next one.
Oh no, that was like yours was Eternals. Mine's Iron Man 3.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Oh, that's my next one as well. Iron Man. 3.
You're got it. Sorry, I like Iron Man 3.
He'll be all right, folks. Don't worry, he'll be all right.
I am drunk right now. I don't dislike it. It's just kind of fine. You know, Shane Black did it, right?
Yeah,
him teaming up with a kid who has no parents or something like that. Like, was like.
The scenes with the kid I really enjoy now.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily when I first saw it, but those are some of my favorite scenes in it now.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of stuff I didn't like in 3. His whole thing at the end of, like, was that the one where he's like, I'll just blow up all my suits then?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was really dumb.
And would you just were also like, oh, and by the way, I got that surgery and my heart's fine now. Like, whoa, hold up.
Yeah, that was funny too.
For like 10 years now, it's like, I have to have this thing in my chest because there's like shrapnel just about to kill me.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, no, he's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
That was weird.
Don't look at this.
That was weird.
Yeah.
And was this the one with Ben Kingsley?
Yeah. And it's like, at first it seemed like...
That was one of the biggest disappointments because I thought he was very threatening and cool.
And it's like, ooh, this is a neat thing. Like a terrorist is attacking.
Exactly. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah. And then it was like a goofy... He was funny, sure, but it was just like
it felt wrong. They should have left him as a threatening who's the real
terrorist. Villain? Angry businessman.
I know. It's so
with
dumb.
Weird powers that they don't really explain.
Didn't like...
And then Pepper Potts gets superpowers, and then like they don't talk about it again.
I know.
No, she's fine. She's fine. Like,
I know.
What?
So many things. So yeah, Iron Man 3, I like 4 elements.
Yeah.
But overall, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah, not great. Next for me is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
Which we talked about. It was fine, but I guess I did put Ant-Man 1 higher than 2. Maybe I would switch them. I don't know.
Yeah. My next one was the original Thor.
Yeah. It's like kind of boring to me to watch.
There's not a lot of action in it.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
They bleached his eyebrows.
I know, it's weird.
It's so weird. He looks so weird.
And then we're into the like really quick talking about them now.
I know.
My next two are Black Panther 1 and 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think there was something I didn't connect to in Black Panther. I don't know if it was the storyline. I found it a little boring. I thought it could have used a little more action.
Right.
I found that a lot of it just seemed to take place in like their little group. They're like, here's all the stuff going on in the group, but there wasn't like a big threat that they were going out to. I don't know. And then I was really psyched for Black Panther 2 because the trailers were phenomenal.
They looked incredible, yeah.
And then I went and I'm like, oh, it's fairly boring as well.
Yeah.
Like not much happened.
I wish Chadwick was great, but I wish they would have recast.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think everyone would have been fine.
I mean,
I think everyone would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
You know? 2 was a real letdown, and Namor, I didn't care about.
And I was psyched for that too, and I just thought he was very mediocre and not that interesting.
Yeah, and maybe, and I know that it's the character, but I'm like, you have wings on your feet? That's dumb.
Oh my God.
Why you got birds on your feet?
You're so racist against people with wings on their feet.
I'm not. That was a funny point that I saw people bring up too, that it's like, because everyone's trying to get the vibranium, and it's all like, like the French and the Americans and all these people trying to steal the vibranium. So it's like, you should be the villains. But then what do? Pit all the people of color against each other instead of going after the people that are like weird, trying to destroy your worlds. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be like mutual? Like, hey, we should team up. They're trying to fucking steal our vibranium.
I was so excited going into that one.
Yeah.
And then I came out just like, oh man. What was next on yours?
So I had Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And then for what we discussed, and then I had Eternals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it's just, we can just...
Well, we can
wrap up the end of these pretty fast. I'll just tell you my last 4 were...
Oh, I got a bunch. Okay.
What?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, I guess because you had Spider-Man's in there.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So my last 4 are Thor Dark World.
Yep.
Which I actually didn't think was bad.
Yeah, it's just not great.
It's just not great.
It's like a nothing movie.
But now, after Thor Dark World, we're into the actual movies that I didn't think were mediocre, that I actually really didn't like.
Right.
So Love and Thunder, which I saw in the theater and laughed a lot, but then when I came out, I felt ripped off.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I just saw a comedy.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work for me. And I love Taika.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of a weird misfire.
It was way too funny.
It was too goofy.
Yeah. And then Doctor Strange Multiverse. What a mess.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
That's
which
funny.
is like it's Lawnmower Man.
It is. It's yeah.
It's all
my
CG and boring and uninteresting and
it's.
And I mean, if you make an uninteresting movie with Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer and Evangeline Lilly, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That's the end of mine.
Yeah, I had after Eternals, I had Doctor Strange because I just didn't really like it, and then Thor 1, Thor Dark World, Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, Multiverse of Madness, and then Quantumania.
Nice.
Yeah.
We can all agree that Quantumania is a piece of garbage.
So disappointing. Like the
and
MODOK
again, I was
thing?
looking forward to it.
Shit?
Yeah.
They should have left his mask on. It looked like, all the CGI was so bad.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that this last...
I'm with you on the CGI train there.
Yeah, right? Yeah, even Multiverse of Madness, I'm looking back on it, and I'm like, it's weird that Wanda all of a sudden is like super bad.
Yeah.
Because after WandaVision, she's, I don't know, kind of like, I shouldn't have done all that stuff. It's really bad. Now she's just like, yo, I'm the Emperor. It was almost like her villain arc was almost beat for beat like Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
It had the same, even like at the end, it's like, I've realized I've done something wrong because of this outside force that's making me evil. Yeah, I'm going to topple a building down on
Multiverse of Madness felt wrong. Like every scene just felt like you did that wrong. And then it's like even stuff like when they went to Comertage or whatever. Right. And I'm like, you could have brought in the Shang-Chi people then.
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't you?
Yeah. His third eye looked like so bad. Yeah. And like, Charlize Theron's in this now?
Yeah.
And stuff. Even like at the end of Love and Thunder, it's like, fucking Roy Kent is in this now as Hercules? And it's just, things just started getting so goofy, and I don't know what
this
problem
phase is. We'll just end, we're going to end in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So this one went a little long, but that's all right. But we'll just end by saying that there's a lot of uncertainty in superhero movies right now.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be, really, it seems like AI is making these movies.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not making any sense. There's no emotional connection. Nothing's grounded.
I never thought I would feel superhero fatigue, but I am.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I was always like the defender of, no, bring it on, as many as you want. And it's like, but I'm not feeling superhero fatigue. I'm feeling bad superhero movie fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, give me more of the Batman.
Yeah.
Because that's compelling.
Invigorating. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But it's like, they got to get their heads out of their asses.
Take your Quantumanias and take your Black Adams.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Get out of here.
Black Adam. Jesus. So here's hoping that they got like with Secret Wars and stuff coming up. Dude, you set up your main villain and nobody likes him. Yeah. And with a great actor.
Yeah.
A great actor, and you made the main villain completely uninteresting.
Totally, yeah. It's really weird.
So they've got a lot of course correction ahead of them. And I don't know how they're going to do it.
Secret Invasion, the show, has been the first Marvel show that I'm like not caught up on and don't care if I don't watch it.
I've been watching it, and it's pretty boring.
Yeah, I think I am too...
And I was psyched for it.
Me too. I was like, oh, cool, like a spy thing. And it's just like... I don't care. And it's only 6 episodes. And I'm like, I put it on while I'm working. It's fine. Okay. Oh, Nick Fury has a wife. Neato. Fucking snore.
If you're going to keep doing the shows, do more Hawkeyes, do more...
Hawkeye was great.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yep. I loved both of those.
I am really looking forward to the Marvels.
Yeah, me too.
It looks great. And I really, really like the Ms. Marvel show. Yep. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't think of what the hell else is even coming.
Yeah, most of the other stuff's DC, I guess, with Blue Beetle and stuff. But, but I don't know what else. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, their whole thing is derailed, so I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know.
I don't know if their current plan is going to continue being their current plan. They might have to completely course correct. Who knows? But anyway, so there's an extended look at the Marvel universe. And, we'll address the other stuff in some upcoming ones. We'll talk about the Spider-Mans a little more. And the Sony universe has some interesting comments too. The Sony Marvel universe. Another episode of What Do We Hate in that series?
I'm Venom. Ooh, Venom like cookies. Nom, nom, nom.
Oh, you got to do a Venom sign up. Anyway, so tune in next time, Ramblers, and thanks for tuning in. And we like talk. So go and check out some of these ones if you missed any of these in the Marvel universe that were good. Check them out, or some of the ones you might want to revisit that you were uncertain of. But just don't watch Quantumania.
No.
All right.
Unless you hate yourself.
That's right. So thanks for tuning in.
This episode of Real Ramblers is brought to you by OK Help. Most podcasts are brought to you by BetterHelp, the online therapist support, but Real Ramblers is brought to you by OK Help, from therapists who graduated at the bottom of their class or people that self-diagnose from WebMD. Get OK Help if you hate your life and don't really want to fix anything.
That's the longest sign-off.
That's amazing.
All right, folks. See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Real Ramblers. Follow us on Instagram at Real Ramblers. That's REEL Ramblers. And you can follow Lee at Lee Howard _art and Bill at JustTheBill1138.